Today I'm going to show you how to solve these trig equations by factoring. How's your factoring? How's your factoring?
A little rusty.
A little rusty. Okay. First of all, I'm going to change the directions. I want you to find all the solutions between 0 and 2 pi, not negative pi to pi. I want you to do from 0 to 2 pi. So in other words, not all of them, but all of them, not all of them from negative infinity to infinity, but only from 0 to 2 pi. Okay? So check this problem out. 3 sine squared x minus sine x minus 2 equals 0. You want to make sure that your equation is set equal to 0. Does this problem look like a quadratic equation to you? If you took the word sine out, what would it look like?
3x squared minus x.
Minus x. Good. Now, how do you solve this?
This is where it gets messy.
I'll help you out. What do you do next?
Plus 1 minus 1.
Plus 1,
Nope. Plus 2.
plus 2, minus 1?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is he correct? He is correct. So you're going to set each of these equal to 0. So x is equal to negative 2/3, and x is equal to 1. That's 9th grade stuff, believe it or not. That's 9th grade math.
That's the last time.
It's actually 8th grade math now. So what you're going to do now is you are going to substitute, or you're going to now bring back the word sine into this problem. That's what you're solving. Now how do you do this? This is a calculator problem. So you're going to pretend like you're in quadrant 1. You want your reference angle. So you're looking at, if this side is 2 and this side is 3, what angle am I? You remember this? So you're going to hit second, or if you're using the Inspire, make sure, or any calculator, you want to make sure that you're in radian mode. So like we did, and I'm going to use this one because the screen is just bigger. But you're going to hit second for this sine, and then 2/3. Your reference angle is 7.7297. Or if we round to 3 decimal, 0.730. Now, in what quadrant do you want to be in? Which 2 quadrants? Where is sine negative at? 3 and 4. So I need to position this triangle in quadrant 3. So if it's in quadrant 3, what do I do with this answer right here, this 0.730?
Oh, you add.
You're going to do pi plus 0.730
and 2 pi.
and 2 pi minus 0.730, and that's going to give you your 2 answers. So what is pi plus 0.730? 3.87. And then what's 2 pi minus 0.730? And you get 5.55. Now for this one, we can do this one without a calculator. What's the definition of sine? It's y over r. Where's the y value 1?
1. Quadrant. Top.
Pi over 2. So there's 3 answers here. We have 3.87, we have 5.55, and we have pi over 2. Okay, let's try the next one, 33. How do you factor this one? You have 3x squared minus 8x minus 3 equals 0. How do you factor that? Got it? So this answer is -1/3, and this answer is 3. Check this out. You're gonna put now the word sign in front. Draw this triangle in quadrant 1. Can you make a fraction out of 3? What angle am I?
What can you tell me about this triangle? You know, I don't like it either. Why?
Why don't we like this triangle?
Because it's not 30, 60, or 45.
That's not why. That's not why.
Because the hypotenuse is smaller than the edge.
Very good.
Whenever you're doing a sine and cosine problem, if this number, if the absolute value of this number is greater than 1, it's not possible. If you were to hit inverse sine 3 on your calculator, you would get domain error. I'll show you. Error. And the reason is you can't have this triangle. Your opposite side and your hypotenuse can't be like that. If it were the other way around, if this were a 3 and that were a 1, you can do it like this one. So this one you've got a 1 here and a 3 here. Yes, you can do that. You can figure out what this angle is. So you're going to hit for this one second sine, 1 divided by 3. You're going to get an answer, 0.3, let's just say 0.34. And now I want to know where is sine negative at. Again, it's in quadrant 3. So it's pi plus 0.34 and 2 pi minus 0.34. Questions? Okay, let's move on. 34. How do you factor this one? What should you first do with 8? What should you do with 8? Bring it over. How do you factor this? Does that work? 10 minus 6, 10 minus 4 is 6. Yep, there it is. So x is 4/5 and x is -2. You're going to put the word cosine here. Can we do this problem right here? Can we have a triangle where the side adjacent is 2 and the hypotenuse is 1? Nope, can't do that one. So we do this one. You're going to hit inverse cosine 4/5. .643, and or actually 0.6, we'll just say 0.64. And now, what two quadrants is cosine positive in?
1
In 4. So you've got to do 2 pi minus that. And those are your two answers. Questions? Is this bad? Eh. Okay, tangent. How do you factor this one? You have 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 equals 0. How do you factor that one? Does that make sense?
What happens if we get one we can't factor?
You gotta use the quadratic formula.
Yay!
So what are your two answers here? X equals -3/2. Now this you can do. If it's a tangent and it's greater than 1, it's fine. So this is what you have. You have tangent x is -3/2 and tangent x equals -1. So this is what we have. We're gonna, in quadrant 1, you've got the side opposite over the hypotenuse. What angle am I? So you would hit second tan, whoops, second tan 3 divided by 2, and you get 0.98. But that's not the answer, because where is tangent negative? 2 and 3. No, not 2 and 3, 2 and 4. So what you do to put this angle in this quadrant, it's pi minus 0.98 and 2 pi minus 0.98. This one you should be able to do in your head. If you think about quadrant 1, and if we made it positive, what angle is this? Pi over 4. But I want to be negative, so in what two quadrants did we say tangent's negative? 2 and 4. What's the name of the angle that has a 4 in it in quadrant 2?
3 pi over 4.
And what's the name of it in quadrant 4?
7 pi over 4.
You got it. Okay, what about 36? Bring the 5 over. How do you factor this? So we're going to make this a positive and that a negative. So x is equal to negative 5/3, which is going to be no solution, and x is equal to 1. Why is this one a no solution?
Because your side's out bigger than your hypotenuse.
Because the hypotenuse is smaller than your opposite. So that side you can't do. This is an easy one. What's the definition of sine? Y over r. Where is the y value 1?
Add 0.1, pi over 2.
I over 2. Okay, now here's another type of factoring. If you look at this, and if I were to set this equal to 0, tangent of x cosine squared x minus tangent of x equals 0. If I were to set this equal to 0, do you see something common in both of these factors that you can pull out? You can pull out a tangent x. So you're left with cosine squared x minus 1 equals 0. So your job is to factor these. We're going to be doing these for a long time now. Set tangent x equal to 0. This is from yesterday. Tangent x equals 0, and cosine squared x minus 1 equals 0. So what's the definition of tangent? Tangent is y over r. I'm sorry, y over x, sorry. Y over x. Where do you get a 0 over 1? I know here and here it's undefined.
Pi.
So that's a
It's
0.
here and here, 0 and pi. Because this is 1, 0, and this is negative 1, 0. And in both places, the tangent will be 0. Next one, how do you think you're going to solve this one, cosine squared x? Anyone think they know what to do with negative 1? Add it. And then what? Square root both sides. So cosine is equal to plus or minus 1. So where do you get an x value? Because cosine is x over r. Where is the x value negative 1 and positive 1? Well, it's here and here again. 0 and pi. Because this ordered pair is 1, 0, and this is negative 1, 0. And the x value is 1 here and negative 1 here. So that's where cosine is 1 and negative 1. You get this? Okay, we have to do these last 3 here. What are you going to do with this cosine? You're going to swing it over to the other side. What can you factor out of both of these? What's left?
Cotangent x minus 1.
Minus 1. Now set each of these equal to 0. Cosine of x equals 0, and cotangent x minus 1 equals 0. Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay, now where is the x value 0? Because cosine is x over r. 0 and, wait, where is it at? Where's the x value 0? X.
Pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2.
Yep, pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Good job. And now, this one, you're going to add 1, and you're going to go, ew, cotangent. Let's do 1 over. 1 over. What is another name for 1 over cotangent? And this is still 1. So what angle are you? Quickly. It's an easy one.
You're 45. Pi over 4.
Pi over 4, and where else?
And 5 pi over 4.
Yep. Another one. Tell me what you think you're gonna do here. Mm-hmm. Factor out what? And you're left with tan x minus 1. Then what? Mm-hmm. Isn't this the same, almost the same problem?
It is the same problem.
Well, this is gonna give you the same answers. This one is pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. And this one is gonna be pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. And the last one in this set. What are you gonna do?
Subtract.
You know what, I'm running out of room, so let me rewrite it. So you have,
Please excuse this interruption. At this time, please excuse the track athletes that are attending the Invitational. Also, freshman baseball and softball are canceled for today. Thank you.
so what are you gonna factor here and here?
Cosine of x.
And you're left with cosecant x minus 2. You're gonna set this equal to 0. And didn't we just do this like 3 times now? What are these two answers?
5 over 2, 3
Pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Now for this one, you've got cosecant x minus 2 equals 0. This is what I'm working on here. What should you do with this minus 2? Good luck. Who wants to deal with cosecant? What are you gonna do instead? 1 over, 1 over. What's another name for 1 over cosecant?
Sine.
Okay, then what? What angle am I whose side opposite over hypotenuse is a 1 to 2? What angle is this?
36.
Pi over, it's a 30, pi over 6. Where else is the sine ratio positive?
5 times.
In 5 pi over 6. Do you get this, guys?
Yeah.
Now, why am I not writing plus or minus 2k pi on these? Because I want you to list all the answers from 0 to 2 pi only. Stop right there. If it said all, name all the angles, you would be writing 5 pi over 6 plus or minus 2k pi and pi over 6 plus or minus 2k pi. Now, John asked a nice question. If you flip over to 43 and 44.
Our substitute teacher, Jim.
Yeah, our substitute teacher, Jim, asked a good question. He said, what do you do if you can't factor them? Guess what 43 and 44 is?
Garbage.
Garbage. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Why would you do this to us?
I'm skipping these on.
So, you can't, these are not factorable, so guess what you have to do?
Can you not put these on the test?
When we're talking about the B value, what value are we talking about?
The 2.
2. So it's negative 2 plus or minus 4 minus 4 times 1 times negative 2 all over 2 times 1. So what do you do next? Is what? Now, you're going to convert these two to decimals. What is negative 2 plus the square root of 12 over 2? And what is negative 2 plus, or minus the square root of 12 over 2? So on your calculator, what you would do is you're going to do negative 2 plus the square root of 2, divide that by 2. So negative, one of your answers,
Square root of 12.
oh, I'm sorry, back. Negative 2 plus the square root of 12, sorry. Divide that by 2. You get 0.73. And the other answer, negative 2 minus the square root of 12, and divide that by 2. And you get, why did I write?
You can.
So it's negative 2.73. Okay, so now what you're gonna do at this point is, what are we talking about in this problem? Sine. You know what's nice about this side right here? Can't do it. Why?
Because
It's bigger than it's bigger than 1. So now all you're gonna do at this point is hit second sine, 0.73, yep.
And that's your answer.
And then that's one of the answers, and then how are you gonna get your other answer? Pi, whoops, not E, pi, not E, pi minus
Put down the chart.
0.818, and that's your other answer. Because you're in quadrant 1 and
2. 4. No, 2.
you're in
3.
two.
1 and 2, because you're positive. 0.73 is a positive number. You're in quadrant 1 and 2. So you're going to hit inverse sine 0.73. You get 0.818. That's one of your answers, and then do pi minus 0.818, and you get 2.32. And there's your other answer. So when you can't factor it, you have to do the quadratic formula to come up with the x values before you can figure out the inverse sine, the angle whose ratio is whatever that is. Does anybody have any questions? Now, on Monday, we are done, we've done everything we could for 8.2 and 8.3. We're gonna probably take a partner test on 8.2 and 8.3 on Monday. There's nothing, I'm done teaching 8.2 and 8.3. Okay?